Welcome back, CJ here, and as you can see, I've finally, if I can get there we go, I've finally gotten the Aldo Domani to write using Koh-i-Noor Document Ink Blue. Do a little line variation here, putting a little bit of pressure on the tines, really getting that flow going. It's funny, you can see it almost puddles up there, and it's still right up in here a little wet. Trying to think of a word that rhymes with people. Now is the time for all good people to spread apart their tines. And vary the line to the steeple. That's kind of stupid sounding. But yeah, so as I've complained about before with this pen, it does write a little bit scratchy. We do get a little bit of line variation in there. Doesn't appear to have any skipping until my pressure gets pretty light, which does happen from time to time. Obviously, if you press down with it, it's not going to skip. It's just going to dig into the paper a little bit more than you would normally want. But, you know, we got a little bit of line variation on the end. You know, kind of happy with that. I still hate this pen. I am not a fan. Let's see how fine we can hatch. Got a 64/8 of an inch straight edge here. Don't see these every day, right? Just as a, you know, as a reference. I mean, it's nothing really. Yeah, I suppose there are far worse pens, far worse capable. far less capable, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Still, with that cartridge being loose the way it is, fortunately I've got like a dozen more sitting in the foyer waiting to be put to use. It's a little scratchy. It would probably be okay as a daily carry. I'm not overly impressed with it. I never have been. It does seem to do better with the Koh-i-Noor ink than it does with the Waterman Black that I've got, which is a testament to something else that I've read, that different inks will behave differently in different pens. And this is case in point because, like I was saying with my Waterman Black, the Waterman Black is a little bit drier ink compared to this, and I don't know what I'm talking about, so understand that first and foremost. I'm still something of a rookie, something of an amateur, something of a newcomer to this entire field, for want of a better word. So, this isn't something that I actually have any experience with, but I'm getting the experience as I go. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing these YouTube videos, is I want to show my learning. I want other people to be able to learn with me. And almost, it's like when you're trying something new. It helps to have somebody going through it with you. And that's kind of what I hope to do here is, maybe other people will get some benefit out of these videos because I'm going through this myself. I'm new to this too. I'm learning as I go, and I'm presenting to you what I learn, when I learn it, how I learn it. Which I have another YouTube channel, and I'm not going to share it here, but it's going to be about my learning amateur radio and everything to do with electronics that I learned. You may have noticed I do have some multiple hobbies going on, as well as a child that needs a little bit of care taken over. So this is basically, I don't know what all I can do other than, scribble a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ink drying test. Maybe try to stifle a sneeze. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm starting to like this pen a little bit more, honestly. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, I do still hate it, but I don't hate it as much now that I've got a drier ink in it that helps it behave, right? And maybe that's the trick. Maybe it just needed a slightly drier ink, but it is a fairly fine writing pen. Let me compare it to my Pilot Metropolitan. Now the Pilot Metro, you can see, is laying down a good deal more ink. This is, by the way, the same ink, the same color, from the same bottle. Like, this is a fine pen, fine nib, fine point, but it's laying down a ton more ink than the other one does. I mean, just compare them. It's almost purple. There's so much ink there. They are both fine. One's a Japanese fine and one's a European fine, so that does make a little bit of a difference, but the Japanese fine is supposed to be a bit finer than the Western fines. So I don't know. Maybe I'll start carrying that Aldo Domani around with me a little bit. Get a feel for how it writes on other papers. But there you have it. Compared to a Pilot Metro, it's a drier pen, just as fine a line, doesn't skip. It's actually not that bad. So, I'm out of time for tonight. See you next time.